get into it. Let's have some fun.
Happy Wednesday, y'all.
Happy Wednesday. Hey guys, welcome back to the Let's Be Real podcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to record on my phone. Hold on.
I'm in it.
Technical difficulties. Don't stop it.
Honestly, I forgot to do the same thing, so you're reminding me right now.
Okay, let's just hope this intro sounds good for whenever Louis, edits.
Well, we can just restart. We could just restart saying hello and tell him to edit this first little part out.
Oh, no, we should keep it all. We should just keep it all.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Let's Be Real podcast.
Yes, sorry for our, we thought we were prepared, but I guess not. But it's okay. It's okay.
We're getting it together. We had things going on today, but it's all right. We're here. We made it.
We did, and I am extra tired today, so I'm going to push through. I made me a little coffee, a little chai with some matcha in it.
I'm jealous. I had matcha downstairs too, and now I'm like, I wish I had that idea. I've got water, which it's okay, guys. Stay hydrated.
Oh, I got water too.
Yes. Speaking of matcha, you know what my new addiction is? It's my mom's fault. I'm blaming her. They came to visit me this weekend, and we got boba, and I got matcha boba, and I had to go back
Boba's
for
the
it
shit.
Today. Yes, it was so good.
Boba is so good. It's funny because this drink I'm drinking is like an accident. I went to Starbucks, and I am not a Starbucks fan. I'm actually a Dunkin' fan for all those out there listening. Because Starbucks is too fucking confusing with their sizes and shit. I get anxiety when I go there and order. But I went there and mixed up my order. I wanted a chai latte. But somehow I got it with matcha. And that combination to me is just chef's kiss.
That sounds good. I love chai lattes too. That's so funny because last week I feel like you were Team Jacob, I'm Team Edward, and see, I'm Team Starbucks, but only because I've tried to give Dunkin' a chance many a times, but there's something about their coffee that makes my stomach hurt so bad. And I've tried different Dunkins. Like at first I was like, maybe it's the Dunkin' I'm going to. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It just, something about their coffee makes my stomach hurt. But I remember one time you told me that their food is better than Starbucks, and I do agree with that. Their food options are a lot better than Starbucks food options.
Yes, and I'm not like a coffee connoisseur because I stick to like the matchas. I'm not getting like a blondie whatever with a double shot of foam cone, cold foam or whatever the hell people get. I don't do that. I just keep it simple.
I feel that. Yeah, no. Even when I go to Starbucks, I'm like, I get the same two things. I either get a matcha iced latte with oat milk, or I get a toasted vanilla shaken espresso. But like, I don't deviate. Like, it's that or that, and like, that's it. But yeah. Well, how was your weekend? We had a long weekend. I hope everyone had a good Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I haven't talked to him forever. I know it's only been like a few days, but I feel like it's been forever in my book.
It does feel like it's been a long time. It's been a busy week, though, for all of us.
Yeah, but Labor Day weekend was cool. We didn't do much. I went to dinner with a girlfriend. We hung out by the pool and really just relaxed. Got some cleaning done, got some deep cleaning done, so it was nice. But then I went viral, and yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I like it, but I like it and I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I understand. That is crazy. You did go viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. I mean, I'm not a part of it, but...
No, you will be. But it's picking up on Instagram. So let me see what I got so far. So on TikTok, we have 1 million views, 79.2 thousand likes, 590 comments, and 651 saves.
79 21,000 likes.
Oh yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Holy
it's crazy.
cow, that's a lot.
Yes, and then on Instagram it has 629 views, 21,000 likes, 205 comments. Let me go to the insights. It was shared 1,622 times and saved 480 times.
That's insane.
It's fucking ridiculous.
So what has that been like? I can only imagine. I will say that, like, I started digging through the comments, and it's interesting to see how people react.
Oh, the comments are fucking ridiculous. It's okay. So I knew it was going to happen eventually, just because I've been consistent with posting. I just didn't know when, and that's not the post I wanted to blow up per se, just because my whole page is like motherhood and my fitness journey. This video was really meant to be just like a silly video. Yeah. I was just expecting my regular 12 likes and 200 views. I was not expecting this, but it has taught me a learning lesson, just because there's a lot of positive comments, but the negative ones, oh my gosh, I just want to fight those motherfuckers. I just want to line them up and clothesline them.
I think it's like a human nature where when it's like you could have 100 positive comments, but it's going to be like those, we focus on the bad. It's like such human nature to focus on the bad, so it's so easy to not respond.
Yeah, like in comparison to the numbers, like there's not a lot of bad comments. Mm-hmm. But the ones that are there, the ones that really got me was like, oh, she's fat, she's ugly. I blocked the ones who were saying trash about my kid. Like, because who fucking talks shit about a kid?
You know what blows my mind? It's like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a perfect person. I've never seen something on social media that I didn't like, or like, we can sit here and say like we don't judge people, but like we've all had a moment of judgment. Mm-hmm. But I've never commented it under someone's photo, and it blows my mind that like people, what do they call them, like keyboard warriors? Yeah. Keyboard warriors. It's like, but the reality is those people are probably the same people that are, you know, not happy about their own lives, and that's why they're trying to shit on you, because they're just jealous. They're jealous of what you have. Oh,
and one thing I noticed, like going through these negative comments, it's the people with like the private pages. The people with the public pages, they're giving love and praise. People with the private pages, if they have a avatar or photo, it's either a caricature, and if it is actually them, they block me right after they post their comment. So I'm just like, when I was going back and forth with a couple of them, I'm like, why am I entertaining this?
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, because part of you, it's like, stick up for yourself. And then the other part of you, it's like, am I wasting my time? Yeah, no, I get it. Well, they're just haters. You go viral, queen. I know it might not have been the one that you wanted to go viral off, but hey, you did it.
Yes. So I now know for the next time it happens, don't even give my energy to those people.
Yeah. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it, honestly. They don't.
And if anything, they're making my numbers better. So.
Right? You know, it's so funny. I follow, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of this person. If not, I don't know how. But do you know who Manny MUA is?
Actually, no.
Okay, so he's a YouTuber. I always say that, but it's like there's so many YouTubers now.
I don't really follow makeup artists, people. Yeah.
So I found him because of his podcast, Full Coverage, but I've started watching his videos because he's just like so hilarious. And I love how at the beginning of every single video, he's always like, if you don't like me and you don't like this channel, then you don't have to fucking watch it. Like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, literally, like, if you don't like me and you don't like what I'm posting, why are you taking up space
Why
here?
are you
like,
here? Exactly. It's like, why are you here? But at the same time, personally, it builds up your callus. And because I was like, I'm just going to stop posting. Do I really want this content creator life? Like, actually getting a taste of this? And I'm like, no, I don't really want to. But then I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Why am I going to dim my light for some no names who are keyboard warriors?
Absolutely. When I had my call with Shanae, that was one thing she told me. I told her the story that I told on the first episode about how some guy like posted about my form, and it just like set me off. And something she said to me that stuck out was, when you're doing something right, there's always going to be little trolls and haters that come out of the woodwork, and that's just part of it. And just remember, for every one little troll, there's 100 positive people that love what you're doing, and that's what matters the most. So
exactly. I was even surprised when this woman reached out to me in my DMs and was like, can I have some advice for dating? So I'm sorry, guys, if you're like watching and listening. The post that went viral, I made like a silly video about my boyfriend and I, and it says, "Did y'all really meet off a Hinge and get pregnant 3 weeks later?" Yes, because that's our story. It's what happened.
Yep. Yeah. So go check it out. Go follow her on TikTok, guys.
I am Rachael Lynn.
Yes. Well, you had a very interesting week for sure because of that. My week was less climatic. I like went mini viral on Instagram, but not viral. But actually, I was feeling really homesick, so my mom and my sister came down to visit me, which was great. We did like all the girls' weekend things. We did brunch. We did like rooftop bars. The really cool thing about Wilmington is that the rooftop bar Cloud9 here is actually kid friendly, even after like 7-8 p.m. So my little sister was able to go and order a virgin drink, but it like came in
gosh.
Yeah, it came in like a cute glass and everything. So they're always telling me how much like they love like watching me live my life, and they live vicariously through me. So they got to have a little taste of it. We had a little beach weekend.
So the girl you were posting on your stories, she's not 21?
No, she's 13.
Wow.
I know, she's taller than
crazy.
me. Yeah.
Because I could have fooled me, boy.
Well, you might have been looking at my mom, though, because I posted my little sister one time and I posted my mom twice.
No, your little sister has like long dark hair, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's 13.
Long dark curly hair.
Oh, she listens to this, and she's just going to love that you said that. I know. I'm going to hear it until next year. She's turning 14 this year, but yeah.
Oh, my gosh. She is such a cutie pie.
Yes, I love her. She's becoming quite the little teenager. She was kept everywhere we're going, "Can you take pics of me?" And I'm like, she normally was very shy and like in her shell. So I love seeing her becoming more comfortable with herself and growing into a little teenager. But at the same time, I'm like, stop growing up.
That's beautiful. Little sisters are cool. My sister turned 18, and she is dope, man. Like, she is so freaking dope, but she's not secure in herself yet. And when she does, boy, you can't tell her nothing whenever she does become secure with herself.
It's like they don't even know. They have no idea.
But I love it, man.
Yes. Well, before we hop into our topic, one more thing I wanted to say is I think we should have a segment on here, book talk, because I feel like you like to read, I like to read. I finished my book that I talked about last week, An Object of Something Beautiful. It's terrible, I should know, but I think that's what it's called. And I did find out that it's not based on a true story. It is a completely fictional story. Steve Martin did not know this person, which honestly, the more I read the book, I'm glad that it was fictional, because there were some saucy scenes where it was like, I was a little questionable about.
Do
but
spill on the saucy scenes.
I mean, it's about an art girl that moves her way up in the world and the art industry in New York, and she does what she wants, sleeps with who she wants. But there was a couple parts where I was like, if Steve Martin is making up the stories about someone that he really knew, that's kind of creepy. So I did some research, and it's a completely fictional book, so that made me feel better. But I finished it. I think it's a good book. I want to say that I would recommend it, but I do think it's kind of niche. If you're not, into that art world, you might not love it as much as, I did. But I was a very artsy kid growing up, so I really enjoyed it. But I got some new books today, and I'm excited.
What'd you get?
Okay, so I got 2 books because the book that I went to get, when I picked it up, I was like, oh, I'm going to tear through this in 2 days. So I went ahead and got 2. So the first one I got is called In 5 Years, and I started reading it today, and as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to read more tonight. But basically the premise or the plot of the story is that there's this girl, she has her life all figured out. She's living in New York. She's interviewing for her dream job. She goes to her interview, she kills it, and her boyfriend proposes to her the same night, and she says yes, and she is falling asleep, completely happy and content with her life, and she falls asleep for 1 hour and has a dream, and when she wakes up from that dream that was only 1 hour long, she can't shake this dream, and it's making her reconsider all these things about her life. I haven't got very far into it, but that's kind of what the back of the book said. And I did get through the dream and everything. So I'm excited. It seems really good. I have a feeling that I'll be done with it in 2 days.
What's it called again?
In 5 Years.
In 5 years, huh? I may have to put that on my TBR.
Yes, I will let you know how it is. But so far, it's already been really good. I'm already on chapter 7, and I'm ready to read more. And then I got another book for when I finished that, so I don't have to run to the store twice this week. The other one I got was called Single Black Woman, which is also a fiction book about 4 different black women also growing up, or also living in New York. I have an infatuation about that. But I have an idea that I feel like it's going to have something to do with kind of the whole Black Lives Matter movement too. I don't really know yet, but I'm going to read that one next. So, yes. But
right now, I'm reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Oh my God. I almost got that.
It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid, if you haven't heard of it. And oh my gosh, I'm on chapter 7 too, coincidentally. I was reading it right before, we came on to record. And what that book is about, it's about this very famous woman, fiction book, very famous woman who's writing a tell-all. And she's going to tell all about her 7 husbands, but she's going to give the dark, ugly truths about it and not the glamorized versions. So, so far in the book, I've gotten to the point where she's talking about her first husband and how she actually used him to move out of her hometown because her mom died, and her dad was, she could tell her dad was going to start being either abusive, hitting her, or sexually assaulting her. So she coerced this man into marrying her that was moving to Hollywood, and so she was like, that's my ticket out of here. So
wow, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because I've heard that's a really good read. I've seen some suggestions for that, and I almost went to get that today. And that's funny. I saw a girl in Target today when I was in the book section, and she was I heard her say, I've heard It Ends With Us is good, and I was like, read it. Read it. Just finished it. Read it. And she's like, okay, I'm getting that. I was like, yes. I love it.
I bought another Coho book. I bought Ugly Love. So
oh my gosh, that's another one that I've been thinking about reading.
Yeah, I hear it's nasty. Like the sex is nasty, so I wanted to get that. And I got Normal People.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, guys, let us know. We can maybe create an Amazon storefront, link all the books on there for you guys.
Yes.
We're
Even
definitely
do a book club. We could do a book club.
We could do a book club.
We could do a book club. Let's do a book club.
We could read together. I love that idea. Yeah. Let's do that. I actually love that. Yeah.
I'm down.
We can all be reading together. But yeah. Well, guys, so today we're going to cover last week's topic since we never got to it, which is something that I really wanted to talk about. And it's going to be just the toxicness of diet culture. I think it's something I want to talk about. I know I've said this in the first podcast, but if you're new here, I am currently in school studying my health science. Oh, God, I cannot talk today. I had a margarita before this, okay? I am getting my bachelor's in health science with a focus in nutrition. So diet is something that I am extremely passionate about. But also because I've just had my own struggles, and you guys know we talk about health, wellness, fitness here, so I definitely wanted to tackle this topic and kind of talk about it and see what's out there, my thoughts.
Yeah, there's actually a lot to go into this. I was doing some research when, you came up with the outline. And I'm actually very excited about this, so I can share my own personal struggles, your struggles. But what does diet culture mean for you, JoJo?
So I think it's changed a lot. For a long time growing up, for me, dieting was like when people went on a diet, right? And I want to look up the textbook definition of diet. Let me see. Diet. Okay, so this is the textbook definition of diet, and this is what dieting means to me now, and this is what it should mean, I feel like, to the mass public. The kinds of food that a person, animal, or community habitually eats. Okay?
That's it?
That's what a diet is. They have other definitions. I feel like this is what it has turned into, though, in this day and age. And for a long time, this is what it was to me. A special course of food to which one restricts oneself either to lose weight or for medical reasons. And I feel like that's where I was at for a long time. Anytime I heard when I heard the word diet, to me that meant, oh, you're trying to lose weight.
And it has a negative connotation to it, too.
Absolutely. When the only thing that diet should mean is the food that you're eating. The food that you're eating is your diet. It doesn't matter if it's junk food, if it's healthy food, keto, paleo, vegan. The food you're eating is your diet. That is what a diet is. But yeah, it's been turned into like such a thing, and it just like drives me insane.
Such a thing, girl, because it's so funny that we're talking about this, because I feel like once I started like trying to like lose weight and everything like that, I was trying so many different things, and when I said diet, and sorry, I'm skipping, but to me, for diet means restriction. Like, that's how I perceived it growing up, being in like this day and age. And I absolutely hate the concept of dieting, because to me, it just doesn't make sense. Because I don't believe in cutting out food groups. I don't believe it.
No, so first piece of advice I'm going to give all of you. If your nutrition, unless it's health related, obviously like certain people, if you're allergic to certain things, or like I know my mom had really bad gut issues, and so now she has to follow like a FODMAP diet. So I understand there's certain instances when it's like there are certain foods you have to avoid. I get that. Let's not think about that. But if you're a nutritionist, if if you're working with someone who's teaching you about nutrition and they're trying to make you completely cut things out of your diet, get a new nutritionist, find a new person, because it should never be completely removing things from your diet. That's not what dieting is. For me, the big wake-up call was when my first like major class, right? So my classes that actually have to do with my degree. The very first class my student counselor signed me up for was nutrition counseling. And in my mind, when I was going to school to be a nutritionist, I thought like, oh, I'm just going to write meal plans for people, right? Like, can't be that hard. No, it's not just writing meal plans. Yes, we do write meal plans, but that's not all we do. The whole basis of having a nutritionist is that they teach you how to eat a balanced diet so that you no longer need a nutritionist. So there's a very big counseling aspect of it, which made me fall in love with it even more. And like, it's just like opened my eyes to so much. But yeah, we should never be restricting ourselves from things. Now, that's not saying that you need to eat a brownie every single night or twice a day. You know what I mean? But you should never have to restrict yourself from things. And it's all about balance when it comes to dieting, and not just not eating things that you shouldn't eat.
So curious, and I'll give my, I want to hear your thoughts, and then I'll chime in on my thoughts. But where do you think this all started, or from your perception? How do you think this all came about?
So I think for me, where I can pinpoint where I first noticed it in my life was low fat.
Like the Atkins diet?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. But I think about like low fat food, like lean cuisine, all of that. Yeah. Low fat, which newsbreaker, low fat is the biggest scam in the world. Like, you need fat. Like, I'm gonna give y'all some facts here, but first of all, your brain, in order for your brain to work properly, you need fats in your diet. Fat is not the devil. You need fat. Like, it's so important for your cognitive health. But for me, I would say it was low fat diets. Like, I remember, and the reason why I say it starts there for me is because I remember my mom growing up, like, we always ate, whatever regular food, but she always ate everything low fat. Yogurt low fat, cheese low fat, lean cuisine meals. She always bought low fat. What about for you?
Honestly, well, in like our previous episode, our first episode, I said I didn't really start taking notice to like body insecurities and stuff like that until like Instagram started to pop off. So it really wasn't until when Instagram was, making its way into what it is. But when I started wanting to lose weight to, try to look like the Kim Kardashians, have like a flat tummy and everything, is when I was like, okay, let me basically eat nothing, like 12,000 calories a day. And I don't know how people would do it. Like, my mom and I actually tried doing the Atkins diet together. I can't remember how old I was. I was definitely in high school, and I was like, I can't not eat carbs. Like, I'm so fucking hungry and I'm angry. Like, I'm about to eat a sandwich because I need this bread.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely right. I think my brother did the Atkins diet for a while, and he, and here's the thing, like, it'll work if you're like, because, so some more science for y'all. Technically, if you want to lose weight, you could technically do it without not working out by cutting your calories, because anytime you eat at a calorie deficit, you will lose weight, right? And my brother did Atkins for a while, and the thing about it is that, will it help you lose weight quickly? Yeah. But is it sustainable?
It's not sustainable. Hell no.
Yes. And that's what we learned about in my nutrition counseling class that like blew my mind, because I remember when he was like, I'm sitting here thinking like, we had a case scenario of a student that we like worked with all semester. And I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, I'm reading this and I'm like, so I need to come up with a whole meal plan for her. And he's like, no. Like the first meeting or two that you have with her, we're going to encourage her to like eat one piece of fruit every day and have one coffee and drink water for the rest of the day. And I was like,
that's ridiculous.
What? But what I understood what he was saying though is that we have to start with small habits, right? Creating small habits and teaching them how to incorporate things into their life so that we can teach sustainable habits versus being like, no coffee, no cupcakes, no cookies, you're just eating this and that's what you're doing. It's just not realistic. That doesn't work. People can't cut cold turkey.
Nope. And to piggyback off of that, to go back into my story, when I stopped doing the Atkins diet and tried dieting, I felt like an imposter because I felt like I was a bad person if I wanted to enjoy the foods that I would normally like to enjoy. Like, naturally, I'm a bigger girl. I will, no matter how much weight I lose or gain, I will always be 5'8". I will always have broad shoulders. I will always be like a fuller figured woman. So I restricting back, trying to look like the people I was growing up around. I was trying to look like them because they were all slim and tiny and so cute and petite. And here I am, this big old Amazon, and I was trying to restrict myself. And I literally felt like I was not good enough, and I felt like I was a bad person if I wanted to enjoy like a brownie, because brownies are my absolute favorite.
Brownies are bomb.
Yes. So I began to equate like my diet to like my self-worth, and I would literally feel like a piece of shit if I wanted to enjoy myself. And I think that's how like diet culture kind of intertwines with your self-worth and how companies feed off of us, because the food nutrition, all that industry is like a $72 billion industry at this point in time. Like they're making bank off of our insecurities.
Yeah. And so here's the crazy thing, right? So I think for me, like when I first started noticing it was low fat diet. But when I really started to notice it, like, I love that earlier you mentioned something about like how you were like, oh, let me just eat like nothing, like 1,200 calories. So the first time where I really wanted to start losing weight, that was the first thing that someone told me was like, you need to try to only eat like 1,200 calories a day. And I was like, okay. And like, I kind of did that for a while, and like, I lost maybe 20 pounds pretty fast, but gained it all back so quickly because one, it wasn't sustainable. I wasn't creating habits that like I could actually keep up with it. Two, I was starving. Like I was hungry, and like I like to eat, and if I'm hungry, I am going to eat. Like it is what it is. But yeah, no, it's crazy because I agree. I think social media is what has really, I think like when I saw I was gonna say when I saw low fat diet, I didn't necessarily think it was toxic. That's just like my first familiarity with like diet culture, but social media was. And one of the big things that really made me realize it for me was two things: almond milk and carbs. So another fact for you guys: your brain actually needs 130 to 135 grams of carbs a day to function properly. The only place that your brain can get energy from is from carbohydrates. So if you have not consumed 130 grams of carbs, and yes, you should eat carbs in the morning, your brain is not working how it should work.
Say it louder for the keto people.
Yes.
For the keto people.
It is not okay to be avoiding carbs. Carbs are your friend. Now, what matters is the types of carbs you're eating. That is what's important. We should be eating unrefined carbs most of the time. I'm not saying you can't ever eat white bread or a bagel or a cookie or a piece of cake. Yes, you should still be able to eat those things in moderation, but it's the types of carbs that you're putting in your body on a regular basis. We should be eating things like oatmeal, brown rice, whole grains, potatoes, all these unrefined carbs that are so good for us, that literally give our brains the energy that they need to work correct. And I feel like that was the second thing that someone told me when I said I want to lose weight. 1,200 calories, quit eating carbs. And I can't stress this enough. If you are working out, you absolutely 100% need to be eating carbs. Most of your energy when you are working out comes from carbs. If you are not eating carbs, your body then has to use the protein that you're eating to create energy, which means you cannot build muscle because you are using the protein that your body uses to build muscle for energy instead. So that is like, blew my mind when I learned that. I was like, all they tell you to do is not eat carbs.
And to go further into it, so I've been working with my trainer. I absolutely love her. I understand why she's so fucking expensive now, and I will milk every penny of it as I'm in this program. But because she'll do educational calls every week, and we just had one on macros. And specifically a takeaway that I got from it, because I'm a carby girl. I love the carbohydrates.
They taste great.
Yes. And she went super detailed in it, but this is what really stuck with me. Yes, there's a difference between simple and complex carbs. Complex carbs like your oats, chickpeas, things like that. Your simple carbs like white bread, stuff like that. Simple carbs release energy quicker. So her recommendation, and she's a nutritionist as well as a personal trainer, her recommendation is to eat simple carbs when you're about to do physical activity, because it'll release energy faster for you so you can use it for whatever task you're about to do. So for example, eat like a rice cake before your workout paired with like a protein and a fat, to give you that energy to push through it and to perform better. But your complex carbs are more when you're sedentary, like how we're chilling right now, sitting down for probably like the next hour and some change. Probably eat like a sweet potato, because it'll push out energy like in spurts. So it's like prolonged, which is really cool. So I have been whenever I eat, I'm like, mindful of that.
Yeah, no. See, and that's what it is. And like, that's why I'm so passionate about teaching people about nutrition, because the reality is that a lot of people, they're just not teaching us. They don't teach it in school. They don't teach your parents. They don't teach it anywhere. So people just don't know. And it's like so funny. I encourage you guys to like look up a picture of like what like 2,200 carbs of like eating out is, and like 2,200 carbs of like eating a balanced diet looks like. And it's a lot of food. Like, you can eat a lot of food. When I tell y'all I work out a lot and I eat all the time, I love to eat. It's like, you can eat. It's just all about understanding how food affects you. And it's just like, I just think it's so funny, because it's always the thing that they tell you first is quit eating carbs, which I will say this, a high protein, low carb diet can help you lose weight quickly. But also another fact that I actually learned through school was that we don't actually have any long-term research on high protein, low carb diets, because it's so hard to maintain a high carb, low protein diet.
Isn't that keto?
So keto is almost like no carbs. But yes, keto would be considered a low carb, high protein diet. So there's no long-term research on the effects of diets like keto, because it's so hard to sustain that nobody has been able to effectively sustain a diet with a client long enough for us to have any kind of long-term scientific research.
That's like with all these trends, because I remember Herbalife used to be a big thing, but now I don't see them anywhere. I did get sucked into it, and I quit super fast.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of shakes.
I remember I did. My mom did this isogenics thing, and I tried to do it, and it was like you had 2 shakes a day and 1 real meal, and like I was like, this is not it. Like
I was mad.
I want food. Yeah, same. I was like, I want food. I want real food. And I love that you said that, like, all these, because I think that's the next issue is like trendy diets, right?
Yeah.
So I think another one that was like a big eye opener for me was like almond milk. Like, when the hell did almond milk become so trendy? Like, why is everyone drinking almond milk now? And now it's oat milk. Like, you know what I mean? If you think about it, how many people are going to Starbucks? I mean, like, I really, for all of you listening, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I get almond milk and oat milk in my drinks too sometimes. But I really had to sit with myself and realize, why the hell am I ordering almond milk and oat milk? Because everyone created this whole idea that regular milk is bad for you. It's not good for you. You shouldn't be drinking it. It's dirty. We shouldn't be doing it. Okay, well, first of all, let's break food down to the reason why we're drinking it. Milk is good for you because it has calcium, and calcium is super important for our bones and our bone health. But the reason why some people are lactose intolerant is because when you're a baby, your body... okay, I'm going to nerd out for a second for y'all. So, lactose has what we call a disaccharide in it, which means it's 2 saccharides, whereas our bodies can only break down monosaccharides. So, in order for us to digest lactose, our body creates an enzyme called lactase, which breaks lactose from a disaccharide into a monosaccharide so that your body can actually digest milk. Well, most mothers stop breastfeeding around the age of 1 to 2 years old. So a lot of adults, when they get older, or not when they get older, when they turn 2, 3 years old, their body stops producing the same amount of that enzyme lactase. And that's why you have people who are lactose intolerant. So that's why we have these milk alternatives like almond milk, oat milk, and things like that, because there's people who are lactose intolerant, right? But the crazy thing is that everyone orders it now, when the reality between almond milk and oat milk is, and I will say that because it's gotten more popular, the FDA has cracked down on it a lot more, so oat milk and almond milk is becoming more nutritional. But the reality of almond milk and oat milk is that it's really just a higher calorie milk, and you don't really get the same nutritional benefits that you're getting from regular dairy milk because it's not dairy milk. It doesn't have all that calcium and stuff in it. And because it's gotten so trendy, the FDA actually makes companies fortify their milk now. So they actually have to add those nutrients into it so that people are getting the health benefits that they're supposed to be getting from milk. But it just blew my mind because I thought about it and I was like, why the hell am I ordering almond milk? I'm not lactose intolerant.
You know what's funny? I was just Googling while you were explaining that. Almond milk didn't come popular until the 2000s because the people who couldn't drink regular milk, who were lactose intolerant, were drinking soy milk and they didn't like the taste of it. And it's just like, what is wrong with people? I mean, I used to drink almond milk, but only because I thought it was healthier and that's what I should be drinking. But I switched back to cow milk when I had my son because, you know, he has to drink milk. And it's just like, cow milk just tastes so much better than almond milk.
Yeah, and so the funny thing is, like, right, that's so crazy. It's like, it got trendy. And I feel like it was kind of like you said, it's like all of these model-esque, picture-perfect girls on Instagram are walking around and they're like, I get my latte with almond milk. And so now everyone's like,
ooh, I'm fancy.
see, yeah, like, I want to look like that. I'm going to drink almond milk. And the reality is, yes, literally. And you know what's so funny? My sister and me were up on the phone one night talking, and she has a 1-year-old and a 6-year-old, and her 1-year-old she's just weaned him off of breastfeeding, and she was like talking to me. Now she's lactose intolerant. Her older son has followed, so she knew that she was going to need to start weaning off of breast milk. So she was like, what should I give him? And a lot of people don't know this, but if you are looking to get the same nutritional benefits that you're getting from cow milk through a lactose-free milk, you should be, the closest thing that's going to give you the most nutritional value is a fortified soy milk. So everyone hates on soy milk, but it's
soy milk tastes good to me. I'm a fan.
I think the other thing people have to realize too is like so much has changed since when soy milk was originally becoming a thing versus now. Like, it's the same way, like, I used to hate almond milk. I remember the first time I tried it, I was like, this is disgusting. It was too thick. And it almost had, like, a slimy, like...
That's why I switched to coconut milk, because it was thinner.
Yeah, and so it's like... But there's almond milk now that's thinner.
Yeah. Well, you know what just brought a thought to my mind is when you're talking about, like, a good alternative to cow milk. I remembered incorrectly, but... when I was pregnant, I switched back to regular cow milk because I remember, fun fact, once you're pregnant, your baby's growing, it takes a lot of calcium from your body, so your teeth start to hurt. My teeth were hurting like a bitch because my son was taking all the calcium from my body when he was, growing. And I was like talking to my doctor. I'm like, why do my teeth are excruciating? They're like, you need to switch from almond milk back to cow milk so you can get the nutrients that you need so your teeth don't start falling out during pregnancy, so you can rebuild that strength in your teeth. So that is so crazy that you say that.
Yeah. And the average adult needs 1,500 milligrams of calcium a day just to like try to maintain good bone health, because chronic disease, one of the chronic diseases that's the leading death of adults 65 and older is osteoporosis, and that's directly impacted by not getting enough calcium in your diet. So it's funny. And like I said, it is getting better. The FDA has started requiring companies to start fortifying their products so that some of that nutritional value is added into them. But that's the funny thing. It's like all these girls, and again, I'm not going to say I don't drink oat milk. I drink oat milk. I like oat milk. I like the way I like how creamy it is and how it makes my matcha taste. But you know why else I like oat milk? Because it has carbs, and I work out a lot, and I need carbs. But I still drink regular milk sometimes because it's so important to get calcium, real calcium in your body. And it's just so crazy because all these fad diets are just, it's so toxic. Or I don't know how much you dabble in the YouTube world, but I do like the what I eat in a day videos. I kind of want to do a rendition of one, like a mini one on my Instagram as a reel. But I hate the ones that are labeled like what I eat in a day to lose weight. And they're not coming from people, and this is people when I tell you, this is when it makes a difference. If you're gonna watch a video labeled what and I eat in a day to lose weight, what
do not take that as facts.
Yes, what credentials does this person have? Or if you're gonna watch it, take the extra 20-30 minutes to go on Google and look up articles. And I'm not talking about .coms, I'm talking about .meds, .edus, .govs, to fact check what these people are saying, because there were so many times where I was like watching these videos trying to get ideas of what a healthy meal was, and I realized these people don't fucking know what they're talking about.
Yeah, because I actually follow one person. I'm not going to say her handle just because, I like her, but I don't like her. But she gives bad advice, and, dang, I lost my train of thought. But she talks about, dang, let me get back to you because I really forgot where I was going with that. But I remember where I was going with that because she's a bodybuilder. And she's basing her experience and spewing them out as if they're facts. Because she's like telling people to not taking it into consideration, like, different, because everyone's different when it comes to dieting and being healthy. Like, there's stress management. People deal with stress differently because here's a fun fact. Like, if you're super stressed, it builds up your cortisol levels, and those levels will make you gain weight. Even if you are the healthiest person in the world, it'll make you gain weight without taking that into consideration, because being stressed will round you out. Doesn't take into consideration activity level or any other health issues. Like, I know PCOS makes it super hard to lose weight. Hypothyroids. Yep.
Inadequate sleep.
Yes, all that plays into a part. But she's just like, it's simple. 2,000 calories. Spend it like you're spending money. You have $2,000 that you can spend within a day. And it's just like, bro, you're not teaching people how to eat. Like, not a lot of people know. This is what my new trainer taught me. Like, if you're fucking stressed, then you're stressing the fuck out, snapping on people, whatever your stressor may be, you need to eat fat. Because that fat is going to help your brain focus so you can get through that stressful moment. Stressful period. Whether it's a season in your life or something you're dealing with, you need to eat more fat. Don't starve yourself.
Yes.
Use your food as fuel.
Yes, it's so true. She's so right. And like, that's so true, because it's funny because like everyone tells you don't eat carbs. 45 to 65% of your daily intake of food should be accounted for in carbs. You should be eating more carbs than anything else. And then I believe it's like 20%, I think it's like 20 to 25% of your daily food intake should be fats. And then the remainder protein. It's like, it's about balance, and all these things that people are teaching you are bad for you, or you shouldn't eat that. Like, no, yeah, like if you're just like drinking olive oil straight out of the bottle, like, we have a problem. But it's like, it's so crazy too, because you're so right. It's like a lot of times too, people don't realize how like directly linked the food that you're eating is to your mood and just your behavior and all of that. I remember when I went to New York earlier this year, I was really feeling myself, okay? Like, I had worked really hard. Honey. Yes, I had just finished 75 hard. Like, I was feeling good. I was feeling in shape. I hadn't drinking in over 90 days. I had eaten so clean. And when you start to really like eat healthy and eat different, and you kind of limit yourself to like, because like for me, I can't snack, because if I buy a bag of chips,
they're gone.
I can't like eat a couple and put it away. I've tried to pour it in a bowl and put it away. Think, no, it doesn't work. I'm going to eat the whole bag. So I'm not like a huge snacker because I have no self-control when it comes to snacking. But when you really start changing your eating habits and you learn how to eat healthy and eat more balanced, and you start to notice when you don't eat like that, how those things affect you. And I remember I went to New York and we went out to brunch and I was all excited and I'm like, I'm going to pig out. I'm going to New York. I'm eating pizza. And I mean, I did. It was delicious. But I remember it was like Sunday. It was the full day there. We were spending the day like in Manhattan. This was my day to like get cute pics, cute photos, and we went to brunch. And I looked at one thing and I was going to order one thing on the menu. And I wanted it. It looked good. I will say it was a little bit on the healthier side, but it still looked really good. And I had already eaten tons of greasy, delicious food. And I betrayed myself and I ordered something else instead. And I don't want to say that I regret ordering it because it was really good. And like, I'm glad I got to experience that meal and eat it. But I looked at it and it was an extremely like white bread forward meal. And I remembered part of me was like, okay, you can eat this, but you also know how this white bread makes you feel. It makes you feel bloated. You're in a cute outfit you feel confident in now. Do you want to feel like that? I betrayed myself. I ordered it and it was delicious. I enjoyed it. But the one thing that really stuck out to me was that I don't want to say it was the only thing I thought about all day because it wasn't. I still had an amazing time in New York. I was with an amazing friend. But half the day, all day, I kept catching myself pulling my jacket.
Aww.
Pulling my pants up, like constantly worried. And then like I remember when my friend was like ready to like take pretty photos for me, in my head the whole time she's snapping photos, all I'm thinking about is, oh my God, I'm so bloated, I probably look so fat. I didn't. Shout out to my girl Ariel. She knows angles. She hooked me up. She did me right. But it's crazy because I realized I spent half of my day when I'm in New York City for the first time, like I should be enjoying myself. The last thing I should be worried about is how my clothes are fitting or what I'm looking like. And when I walked out of the house that morning, I felt good. I wasn't self-conscious about my outfit or anything like that, but it's like it made me really realize how the food decisions we make can impact us. And I'm not saying that means you can't ever eat a bread forward dish, but maybe if I know that I'm about to go out and take pictures and if I eat a huge bowl of pasta, I know that it's going to make me feel insecure about myself. Maybe I eat that pasta when I get home and I'm going to veg out on the couch and watch a Netflix movie. You know?
So that brings up a good point too, because that toxic diet culture, like I really hate how it labels foods as bad or good, because as we all know, the bad and good food groups change all the time. Like they're saying strawberries are bad for us, but no, they're good. The blueberries, oh my gosh, don't eat them now. But it's just so like you can't really pay attention to that, because at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a bad food. There's a calorie dense food, and then there is, not.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then you just have to be able to keep it in moderation. I believe in an 80-20 diet. So 80%, eat clean, 20% enjoy your life. But I really believe heavy on the enjoy your life. Like how you said you were so happy you got to experience that meal. You're not going to be eating that stuff regularly, like when you're home going through your regular routine. So it's important to like give yourself that grace because we want to live life. If we count our calories every single day, it's going to be fucking miserable. We want to enjoy life too.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. I think that's like the craziest thing that people ask me all the time too is like, how many calories do you eat? I have lost probably, I don't know, I haven't weighed myself in a while. I don't really weigh myself that often, but beginning of the year, I was 156. Last time I weighed myself, I was 138. So I've lost about almost 20 pounds, and I have not counted a single calorie. Am I mindful of it? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I think it was yesterday, I had gotten something really like sugary that I knew was high calorie at the beginning of the day. And later, after I was leaving the gym, I was driving past a place that had boba that I'd never tried. And I was like, ooh, I want to try that boba. But then it was like, okay, balance, girl. Like, you've already had something super sweet, sugary today. You ate pretty healthy for the rest of the day. You don't need to have another sugary drink at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah,
save it for a treat for another day.
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing, it's like, am I mindful of my calories? Sometimes, yes. Like, you know, I'm not going to just pig out all day, every day, but I don't count my calories. I do not weigh my food. I don't own a scale to weigh my food. Like, I'm not doing that because...
I do now, just because, you know, I'm building the habit of being more mindful of my food. So it's great when you're building that habit so you can learn how to eat for your body's needs to get to your goals. But I know eventually, like, I'm not going to be tracking stuff because I'm already know.
Yeah. You're going to get used to seeing what those portion sizes look like. And I love that you said that your your trainer and nutritionist, that she like calls you and does educational phone calls, because I think that's so important, because that's the thing. That's what she's teaching you. She's teaching you real, sustainable habits. I love that she told you when you're angry and you're mad, you need to eat fats. Like, your brain needs that. Like, you know, she's showing you the way that different foods affect you, and like that foods aren't bad. Like you said, foods aren't bad. Like, everything in moderation is okay. Like, girl, if you want to eat the cake, eat the fucking cake. Like,
eat the cake. Don't eat the whole cake, but eat a slice of cake now.
Exactly. And I think that's really what we need to be teaching, is portion control. Portion control. And that's the thing that
and creating a balanced plate. Another cool thing that I actually learned is, you know, with sugars, it's best to pair them with other things so you keep a balanced plate, because you don't want to just eat sugars by themselves, because, you know, spike up your blood sugar levels. But if you pair it with a fat, like, I don't know, like an almond or like a piece of cheese, it'll help satisfy you, and your blood sugar levels are not going to skyrocket. You're enjoying a treat, but you're making it balanced.
Yes, absolutely. So it's just like, it's so crazy, because there's so much about food that people don't understand. And I heard this through, I can't remember if it's through my NASM certification classes or if it was through my actual degree, but they just made a good point. Like, if you break your arm, you're not going to walk up to a random person and be like, hey, I broke my arm. Or you're not going to like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or YouTube a doctor and be like, hey, like, can you help me fix this? Like, how do I fix this? Like, no, you're going to go to a licensed practitioner that knows what they're doing. They went to school, they knew what they were doing. And I think the crazy thing that a lot of us don't think about is, if you want to diet, right? Like, if you're trying to change your diet, shift your diet, and create new habits, and I love that you mentioned this earlier. You were like, I understand why she's so expensive, because, you know, she's really teaching you and you're going to milk it for everything it is. If you really are serious about wanting to change your diet, go see a professional. It's worth it, because I can tell you, as someone who is in nutrition school right now, learning what being a nutritionist really is and what nutritional counseling is, we are not taught, and I specifically really want to go into holistic nutrition because I want to teach prevention. We're not taught to treat people. We're not treating people. We're teaching people how to learn healthy habits so that one day they don't need me. My goal isn't to have you as a client for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, a lifetime. My goal is to give you the tools that you need in your toolbox so that eventually you can confidently say, I know how to do this on a regular basis. So if you're really serious and you really want to know, and I get it, it's expensive, we can't all afford it, but just be more diligent about where you're getting your information from. If you're reading an article or a blog post, Are they citing resources, actual educational, scientific resources where they're getting this information from? Is it a .edu website? Is it a .gov? There's ways to make sure the information that you're getting is good, valid information, because the truth about eating healthy, whether it be to lose weight, build muscle, whatever your goals are, is that there's no quick fix. It's not a quick thing. It's not going to happen overnight. If there was a magic pill or a diet that could just fix it all, why would we not all be taking it or doing it? Like, it's just not the reality. It's not what it is. It's going to take time. It takes learning. It takes building new habits and not restricting yourself,
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because my trainer, that's her goal, for us to not need her and to sign up for her program. Her name is Mel, by the way. If you guys want to follow her, it's Get Fit with Mel, and her company is called Girl Power Fitness. She's awesome, but she specifically requires a 6-month commitment, because she's like, 3 months, yeah, you can see results, but are you going to really know how to implement that into your life and make those sustainable changes? So that's why she requires at least a 6-month commitment.
Yeah.
And that way, you can really implement everything she teaches you.
Yeah.
She's
and that makes so
effective.
much sense. No, it makes so much sense, though, because something that you learn through NASM certification for getting your PT license is that it takes 6 months for someone to be into a maintenance stage. So you're not even considered at a maintenance stage till 6 months. So I love that. I love your trainer. I need to meet her.
She's awesome.
Yes.
I may ask her, like, hey, you want to come on the pod? Because she knows about the pod.
we should definitely have her on here. But yeah, I think it's interesting. And like, guys, it gets even deeper, and we can definitely talk about this more. Maybe have your trainer on here to like give us more insight, because I'm still learning. I still have so much to learn.
Yeah.
But it's just the same thing too with like vegan, vegetarian. Like, there's so many things that I could say about that. Like, vegan diets, I get it. It's trendy. A lot of people are doing it. If you're passionate about it, I understand. But at the same time, veganism is not very good for the environment. Most of their food has to be created, or I won't want to say most of it, but a lot of their food is created in factories, which emits more fossil fuels than we're saving by not eating animals. Vegetarian diets are actually the most economically sound diets that we could follow, but you have to be really careful too. If you want to go onto a vegetarian diet, that's something that you should talk to your doctor about. There's a lot of people who are vegan and vegetarian that are very unhealthy, because you cannot, the reality is that plant protein, it's not the same as animal protein. You have to eat way more of it, and you have to eat different kinds of it to get all of the protein that you need. So it's just, don't just follow all the fad diets or what you see the trendy people are doing. If you really want to be serious about your diet and make changes, get help. Reach out.
Yeah,
Reach out to us.
Yeah, and that's a good segue into our other topic of like combating diet culture. I would say, as a person who's going through it myself, we have to definitely change our mentality around food, because how we talk about food now is toxic within itself. Like, for example, cheat meal. Why are we calling it a cheat meal? What are we trying to cheat? And why are we trying to cheat a lifestyle that we're trying to develop? So we change that cheat meal phrase to just a meal. Like, I'm about to,
that's what it is.
Just call it what it is. Just call it. And being mindful of that language, because, we have to unlearn these toxic ways. Because, once you know better, you do better. But we have to take that phrasing away and really spin it in a more positive light, because food is not our enemy. We just have to learn it.
Yeah.
You know?
And the more you learn it and the more you manage it, the more you learn what kinds of food affects you and doesn't. Like, I know so many people are like, don't eat red meat. You shouldn't be eating a lot of red meat. When I tell you, I love red meat. My body.
Girl, I like it rare.
Yeah, girl.
Medium rare, please.
I'm like a medium girl, but like my body responds so much better to red meat than it does to chicken. Like, truly, like I feel
I love
better.
red meat.
I have more energy. Yeah, and it's like, and that's actually another really cool thing too. Is like in the nutrition world, we're actually trying to start moving to more of a kind of like personalized nutrition, whereas like you go into the doctor, you get your blood work done, and your nutritionist actually bases your diet and your nutrition off of your actual physical body's needs.
That's cool.
Versus telling you, don't eat this, don't eat that, this is how you lose weight, blah blah blah. Like, we shouldn't be doing that because food affects all of us differently, right? It's like some of us are lactose intolerant, some of us aren't.
Some have allergies. And what's really cool that you said that too is I also feel like, which I agree to this, I saw this on TikTok, that we don't trust our bodies to do what it needs to do or what it's telling us, and we rely on all these outside factors to determine what our body needs. But in all reality, we just need to pay attention to our body and trust that our body can do it, because our bodies can handle a lot of stuff physically, but it's our mental that we have to get in check to align with our body so they can work as one, as a team.
And I think also like what you were saying about combating diet culture and like what we're seeing on social media and stuff, guys, I think the other thing, the big part of that too, is like, know that these people are just sharing their own experiences and the things that they're doing. And just because someone looks a certain way does not mean they're healthy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have one girl I follow on YouTube where she's super thin, you know, real petite, and she doesn't ever work out at all, like never ever. And I've seen her post her What I Eat in a Day videos, but recently she opened up about how she's been feeling super lethargic and like foggy brain and so tired and exhausted, and it turns out she was super iron deficient because she doesn't eat a lot of meat, and she was, you know, she's not a nutritionist, she doesn't know about it, and so she was literally, her body was so deprived of iron that it was not functioning properly. So just keep in mind that just because you see something on the internet and you see a way someone looks, it doesn't mean that they're the healthiest person in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. Case in point, me and my boyfriend. You would think I'm the really unhealthy one, but nothing is wrong with me. Him, because he's leaner, you would think he's the healthy one. This man has high blood pressure, and he does nothing to take. Like, he does not care about health and fitness. Like, this man, he didn't really start drinking water until he met me. Like, his piss was gold. Gold and yellow.
I have a friend like that, so I get it.
This man loves eating fast food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm like, no, we got to change that up. It's crazy how, like, and it's so funny because me and you could be the same height, same weight, and we would still look absolutely different.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. And I think that's another thing we have to like grasp our minds around. That was a big like learning curve for me. Like, and like even still this very day, like I've lost a lot of weight and I work out really hard, but like guess what? I ain't got no hips, okay? That's just the reality of it. So it's like I can sit here and try to look like Kim Kardashian, but I will never look like Kim Kardashian because baby, my body is not built like that. I don't know if hers is either, but
yeah, she probably bought hers, but
yeah, no, I think that's such a good point.
Mm-hmm. And then even if you bought yours, you'd still look different.
There it is, folks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we have to learn we're all made different, we're all built different, and kind of like you said earlier, there's just so many factors that affect your weight, whether it's medications, health concerns, or diagnoses, the amount of sleep that you're getting, your activity levels, all of that. There's so much stuff that plays a part into it. So there's no one size fits all. You know, it's, you have to find what works for you.
Yeah, and I would say another way to combat it is oh wait, I already spoke on this, but build a community. Like, it's easier when you have that community, so you can ask questions and get support. You can always ask us.
Yeah. And if I don't have the right answer for you, or Rachel doesn't have the right answer for you,
we'll figure it
out. At least
out.
help point you in the right direction of where you can get the information that you need. Like,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yes, literally. That's what we're here for. We want to have conversations with you guys. We want to help you guys because we're learning just like you are, you know, and it changes every day. And I'm telling you, the more you learn about it, the more you start to notice. Like, when I don't eat enough and I go to the gym, and not saying that I purposely don't eat enough, but there's days where you're busy, you lose track of time, you kind of just eat little things here and there. I feel it. I feel it in the gym.
I feel it when I don't drink water too.
Yes, I was in the gym earlier this week, and I knew I hadn't eaten enough, but I didn't want to miss the gym, and I went. And I remember feeling so frustrated and so defeated because the gym is where I feel strong. It's where I feel powerful. It's where I feel empowered. And I was like 2 sets in of my first workouts, and I was dying. But I knew that it was food. I had not eaten enough, and I knew that. And so there's just so much to learn.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like we can talk about this even with like future episodes. Like, just dive. Like, we could have an episode on just like macros.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. If you guys want us to deep dive into anything, let us know, because I think the more you understand it, it's only as hard as you make it. And I've had to really learn that. I did like have a freak out moment a couple months ago with my mom, where I've been learning so much about food, being a nutrition major, that I started panicking. I was like, how am I ever going to eat all the things that I need and get all the vitamins that I need? And there's just so many pieces, and how do I know? And but it's only as hard as we make it. It's, you know, it doesn't have to be super hard and difficult. Yes, there's fancier meals and things you can do. There's going to be times when you are measuring your macros or weighing your food, but you know, it's a learning process. We learn, we get through it, you adapt, and you build new habits. And so we can definitely deep dive on anything that you guys are interested in, because, you know, the more we know, the better for us, and the more you guys know, the better for you, and we're all helping each other here.
Yeah. Beautifully said, JoJo.
Thank you. It's like I've been doing this my whole life. No, I'm just kidding.
Not in the community, giving, you know, open arms.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, does that conclude our episode? I feel like we're kind of closing it out.
So. Things are coming to an end here, but yeah. Thanks so much again, guys, for listening. Again, we're dropping new podcasts every Wednesday on all your favorite platforms.
Yes. Instagram, Let's Be Real Podcast _RJ. Same for TikTok. And then on YouTube, Let's Be Real Podcast with Rachael and Joslyn.
Yes, guys, we have visuals, so definitely check that out if that's something that you are into. So
yeah, and let us know what you guys want to hear and different topics that you guys want us to talk about. Let us know in the comments. We're definitely always open to suggestion, and we want to talk to y'all. Talk to us.
Yes, let's have a conversation. And also to anyone who is listening and the people that have been listening, we just want to say thank you.
We love you guys.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Bye. Let's get into it. Let's have some fun.